Have you ever wondered why you can't remember being a baby? You had a whole life before the age of 3. You opened your eyes for the first time. You heard your mother's voice. You learned to smile. You learned to crawl. You took your first steps. You probably laughed, cried, got scared, and felt comfort. But today, you remember almost none of it. Not your first birthday, not your first word, not the first time someone held your hand, not the first time you saw the world around you. It is almost like the first years of your life were deleted. But here's the strange part. Your baby brain was not empty. It was not useless. And it was not failing to record life. In fact, babies can learn. Babies can recognize things. Babies can remember for short periods of time. Psychologist Carolyn Rovee-Collier showed this in famous experiments with babies. She connected a ribbon from a baby's ankle to a mobile above the crib. When the baby kicked, the mobile moved. And later, when the baby saw the same mobile again, the baby remembered. They started kicking. So the problem is not that babies cannot form memories. The real question is, why do those memories disappear? Scientists call this infantile amnesia. It means adults usually cannot remember the earliest years of their life. And the first reason has to do with a part of your brain called the hippocampus. The hippocampus helps turn life experiences into memories you can later replay. A birthday, a conversation, a place you visited, a moment that felt important. But when you are a baby, this memory system is still under construction. The brain is still building the connections needed to store long-term personal memories. So your baby brain could experience life, but it could not save those experiences the way your adult brain can. But that is only part of the story. Because the strangest reason may be this. Your brain was growing so fast that it may have overwritten its own memories. Neuroscientists Sheena, Josselyn, and Frankland studied this idea. In early life, the brain creates new neurons at a very fast rate. This process is called neurogenesis. And this is important. Those new brain cells help build the brain you use today. But there may be a cost. As new neurons enter the brain's memory circuits, they can disturb the old connections that were holding early memories. In simple words, your baby memories may not have disappeared because they were never saved. They may have disappeared because your brain was rebuilding itself. Imagine building a house while also trying to keep old drawings on the walls. Every time you build a new room, some old wall gets removed. That is what your early brain was doing. It was not just remembering life, it was becoming you. And becoming you required changing almost everything. But there is another reason you cannot remember being a baby. Back then, you did not have the same sense of you that you have now. Today, when something happens, your brain can say, "This happened to me." But babies do not fully understand themselves as separate people yet. Developmental psychologists Howe and Mary Courage argued that autobiographical memory needs a sense of self. That means the kind of memory where you are the main character. But before a certain age, a baby experiences the world more like feelings, sounds, faces, comfort, fear, hunger, warmth, and touch. There is experience, but there is not yet a strong narrator inside the mind saying, "This is my story." And without that sense of self, memories are harder to organize. Then comes language. Language does not just help us describe memories, it helps us build them. Before you could speak, your experiences were mostly raw sensations. Light, sound, warmth, emotion, faces. But once you learned words, your brain could organize life into stories. Remember when we went to the park? Remember when you fell down? Remember when grandma visited? Those conversations help children turn moments into memories. Developmental psychologist Katherine Nelson studied how language helps children create lasting personal memories. Because words give memory a structure. Without words, experiences can feel like water with no container. They exist for a moment, then slip away. So when you ask, "Why can't I remember being a baby?" the answer is not one simple thing. Your hippocampus was still developing. Your brain was growing new neurons so fast that old memory traces became unstable. You did not yet have a strong sense of self. And you did not have language to turn experiences into stories. Your earliest years did not vanish because they were meaningless. They vanished because your brain was doing something even more important than remembering. It was building the person who could remember later. So somewhere inside you, the baby you once were still matters. Not as clear memories, but as feelings, patterns, attachments, fears, comforts, and the foundation of the person you became. You may not remember being a baby, but your brain was shaped by it. And in a strange way, you lost those memories so you could become the person sitting here now. If this video opened your eyes, hit the subscribe button for more psychology deep dives.